Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for being here today. I'm super excited and super delighted and very much appreciative of everyone's time. Again, I know it's very early for some and very late for some, but thank you all for being here. And I'm super glad that you all can join us in this celebration. So today is a big day. It is the culmination of a fun and fast-paced, jam-packed 10 months. And it's a celebration of the work that all of the ambassadors have done. And I'm sure the ambassadors can tell you how it seems like we all never sleep as we are all in continuous communication. So our time zone span from like very early in the Americas up to very late in Asia. So mostly, WhatsApp has kept us all in communication with each other, and not to mention, all of our meetings and sessions and lectures and whatnot. But that aside, I think everyone really exceeded their potential and brought so much passion and expertise into the cohort. And even with all the road bumps along the way, I'm very glad that this cohort achieved so much and is continuing to achieve so much. And you will see it in all of their presentations today. So I'm super excited to present all of them to you today. So also, I would like to thank all of our funders and sponsors. So we have all of them here today. So we have our Clean Air Fund um, sponsor or Clean Air Fund grantors. And then we also have Sean from Clarity. We have Akim from Air Gradient. I think we have our Ewona in here also from AtmoTube. So thank you so much. You will see all of the work that our ambassadors have done with all the sponsorships and the funding that you've provided for them. And so thank you so much for your generosity and your patience. And most importantly, thank you so much for enabling the advocacy of our ambassadors. So also today, we have everyone who has lent their time and expertise. So our those who have given their guest lecture and those who served as mentors are here today. So thank you. I'm so glad that you're able to make it and witness the fruits of the lectures and the mentorship that you've given us. So thank you so much, and I hope you'll continue to support us in the next cohort, so that the next cohort is upcoming. So I hope you'll continue to support us then. Also, we have alumni of our 2021 cohort here. So thank you so much for being here and serving as an inspiration for this cohort. And the next cohort to come, we continue to watch and track your impact after you've graduated from our inaugural cohort. And we've been very proud of you. Excuse me, very proud of you all. So today, we're going to have 10 presentations from 10 ambassadors. Each presentation will be 6 minutes each. So this is a flash version summary of the whole 10 months. And, it's not going to be enough to, this 6 minutes is just like a preview of what all they've done in the 10 months. So please feel free to reach out to them after the presentation. And if you're interested in diving deeper into their work, they also wrote 15-page reports that we are very happy to share with you. And so, yeah, I'm sure the ambassadors are super excited to share all of their work today. So without much further ado, we'll move on to the presentation. So first presentation today is from Abid Omar from Pakistan. Abid, take it away.
Hello, everyone, and thank you all for taking the time out to be here, and especially thank you to OpenAQ for coming up with this ambassador program and providing all of us the opportunity to take part of this. This, for me, is what I call an air quality science boot camp, where over the last 10 months, we took a deep dive into everything air quality, whether it's data or health effects, or a look into different kind of sensing technologies, and especially also the inputs we got from the sensor manufacturers, Air Gradient and Clarity and Atmotube. It wasn't just them as a sensor manufacturer, but really we were talking about the science of measurement, and for me personally, about the impact that these low-cost monitors make. I have been working on air quality data in Pakistan since 7 years as a citizen scientist. So, and we have 7 years of data, so that's what we were looking at. So in the next slide, um, oh, it's gone back. So yeah, it really, for me, started off out of curiosity. I was then living in China, where since 2012, which was the epicenter of all things air pollution in Beijing, and that led me to be curious about air pollution in Pakistan. And I just got some consumer monitors, low-cost monitors, and deployed them just out of curiosity. At that time, I didn't even know the term citizen scientist exists. And we have collected a lot of data, and we've done a lot of community outreach and advocacy. Here's one picture as an example of something that was done by myself and other community members. So this curiosity has now matured in a way where we have received grant funding to establish an air quality research center that is in process as of February. And in fact, we were fully started as of just last week, as of 1st March. So some of my plans are now more around expanding the scope beyond me working on this as an individual citizen scientist. So one of the things that, or rather what I focused on during the OpenAQ Ambassador project was to take up the quality of the work we're doing around this data that we have gathered, which is the low-cost data. So in the next slide, I mean, it wasn't just about that we have a lot of data, and on the left you can see a screenshot out of Excel. And back a few years ago, when I was working, we'd already reached the limitations of Excel. And then in 2021, they came up with a new version which could handle around 1 million rows of data. And then now our data set is just above 1 million rows. And but when you're working with tens of thousands of data points in Excel, it is very difficult, very tedious. Like, you know, the computer freezes over, things crash. It's a huge file sizes. Like even on a reasonable computer, they barely open. And I always thought there was a better way of working on this. And I wasn't really sure on what is the right way until we had Dr. Garima's presentation, where she talked about doing data analysis using Python and Jupyter Notebook. And that was kind of one of the things where I was like, okay, this is the right way to go about it. So we also want to follow the right scientific approach in whatever analysis we're doing. So this screenshot of the Jupyter Notebook in the top middle, I mean, I don't think you can really see what it says, but here we start off with, of course, putting the data together. By the way, I struggled a lot from not knowing any software or programming and how to make this happen. So finally, I had to seek external help for a number of other reasons also, where the last 2 months I had some personal issues where I couldn't give it the right amount of time into this. But nonetheless, one of the first steps in data analysis is the data cleanup. So on the top right, the chart that you can see has a lot of anomalies, which are these lines on top. And that's also perhaps that here we're looking at one of the earlier generation of low-cost air quality sensors from 2016, 17, and they had other, so as before the technology got more mature. So we've done the data cleanup, we've done some plotting here on the bottom. You can see Lahore on the left and Karachi on the right, where we're plotting hourly averages over here. And you can see that, you know, they're getting to 1,200 micrograms per cubic meter over here. So that is kind of what we're doing. Unfortunately, this analysis is not yet complete. It's still a work in process, as we see in the next slide. The abstract from this work has been accepted at both EGU 24 in next month and also at ASEC. So we'll be presenting two looks at this data at these two events, which is something I'm very excited about, because actually one of my goals out of this ambassador program is to publish these results subsequently in a peer-reviewed journal. Our other plans are more to do with around this research center that we have established, and now we have a staff on board working full-time on this. We are 3 people right now. I think we'll scale up to about 5, maybe 6, depending on how things are going. We're planning on publishing a landscape report this year. We're also planning, of course, to have more data. And we do want to go beyond just low-cost sensor monitoring. We want to do multi-pollutant, I guess supposed with low-cost, but also reference standard data. So we have some ambition around that. We're starting already the data collection for emissions inventories. Data coming from Pakistan is a mess, so that's a big task in itself. And we are excited about chemical speciation studies. Is something we'd love to collaborate with someone to work with that. And finally, one of the things that I'm inspired by is like how amazing this ambassador program was structured and organized, and how Colleen had done this. That it would be amazing if we have something not the same, but something inspired by this, like for journalists in Pakistan, where we see a big lack of understanding about air pollution, not just about data, but about the science and about the health impacts and about policies to solve it and so forth. So with that, thank you very much. I hope I am good on time.
Yes, thank you so much, Abid. Thank you for kicking off the presentations, and we are looking forward to the next presentations in EGU and ASIC. With that, we'll move along to Alex from Romania. Alex, take it away.
Hello, thank you for your attention. My name is Alexandru, and today I would like to present to you the final project, identification of pollution sources in the 3 major cities in Romania. I have chosen Cluj-Napoca, is the city where I'm staying, Iași, another big city, and the capital, Bucharest. Next slide, please. So, couple words about me. I'm a software engineer, IoT passionate, and I'm doing electronics from the 5th grade. I like to play with the sensors and smart devices. So that's why I start building projects, environmental projects that use IoT to collect data and to understand if it's a problem over there, like pollution or something else. So that's why I have founded the startup IoT for Nature. And under this umbrella, I have build drop of air national air quality network using low-cost sensors, and drop of water, it's another platform that it's measuring air quality and put all the information on some platforms. So this project that I want to present aim to uncover the sources of the pollution in Bucharest, Cluj-Napoca, and Iași, by looking on industrial emissions, traffic patterns, waste disposal, I don't know, heating points and traffic jams, everything that it's making the pollution to be a bigger problem for our health. Next slide, please. So, as I already told you, I have chosen 3 cities, each from every corner of the country. Next, please. And next, I have collected more than 2.5 million measurements, unique measurements from 35 sensors. 16 from Cluj, 9 in Iași, and the rest from the Bucharest. As Abid told you earlier, this is a big problem with having a lot of data export and analyze them. I have used the old-fashioned PowerShell script for renaming, calculating average, and in the end, building the graphs. I also have built a small lab collocating 6 sensors from 4 providers. And I want to thank you for your sensor that you send it to me. And I have identified bias between producers, and I have built also a software solution to have similar data and to put all these on a singular map. Next, please. So in the end, I have collect all the data from the past year and understand that we have 3 months with higher pollution, December, January, and February. Next, please. Similar is for the other city. Next, for Yash. And we have seen that also the weather has an impact of in the air pollution if we are talking about PM 2.5 and PM 10. Next, please. Going further, I have put all the sensors on the same graph to isolate and to understand which is the problem. So I have identified that a couple of sensors are measuring different things. That means in that area we have a problem. So in this we isolate a source of pollution. Next, please. This is for PM 2.5 and also for PM 10. We saw that it's a correlation between concentration PM 2.5 and PM 10. So next, please. In the end, as a conclusion, we put it on a map to understand what's the problem in that area, and I have identified for Cluj-Napoca heavy traffic for 2 of the sensors and the near site construction on the other 2, where the average is above the other. Next, please. Or heavy traffic in Iași. And the next, please. In Bucharest, we have identified a district heating point. So going further, next, we have identified main sources of polluant. Next, heavy traffic, site construction, and heating point. Recommendation and future work, I will continue to monitor and research. That means next, going and make some investigation on another big cities from Romania, Timișoara, Brașov, and Constanța, gain more visibility, participate to conference, IT conference, and workshops, and further going in school, talking about air pollution and what's the problem that make us to feel sick. Thank you for your attention. And if you would like to collaborate, you will find my LinkedIn address. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alex. And your timing was impeccable. As you can see, it's super impressive that Alex built his own sensor co-location setup. And yeah, it's his own laboratory in his balcony. So thank you so much, Alex, for sharing that with us. With that, we'll move along to Ikrom. Ikrom, floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Colin. Once again, my greetings to all the participants, for guests, and our partners and donors who supported this activity. Actually, it's a very urgent and in time support, I guess, because air pollution issue is very important challenge, a very important problem all the world, because you know, all the big donors being IFS warning about this, even America and Europe also aligning some legacy issues to meet the WHO recommendation. So in the context of the Tajikistan, so I have conducted some projects on information campaign based on the analysis of collected data for 2021-2023 in Tajikistan, but the scope of work was broader, and of course, collaboration in the region, I mean, in Central Asia, was conducted to somehow approach this problem in regional perspective. Is World Bank wrote it in the report. The Central Asia were influencing as climate change, as air pollution. So as you know, most of fresh water in the fresh water as glaciers in our mountains in Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan are affecting as a result of air pollution, and each year we are losing 1% of the glaciers in our region. So next slide, please. This was just introduction about our situations in Asia and in Tajikistan. As you see in the picture, we have 93% of mountains in our country. Only 7% is place when the people living. So my name is Ikromjon. I am chairperson of environmental organization Youth Group on Protection the Environment, acting since 2003 in Tajikistan and Central Asia. I have started as a volunteer in 2003, and in 2016 became a director of this organization. For the last 20 years, I'm a national and international expert on environmental topics, including climate change, biodiversity, conservation works, and strategic environmental strategic planning. So I have opportunity and experience work with CPF program, WWF, UNEP, UNDP, OEC, and a lot of organization works in our region. So the questions I have put it for my project, for my activities, was what's the situation on air quality issues in Tajikistan, and what action taken by our organization on air quality monitoring issues, what result we have achieved during participating OpenAQ program, and what kind of action we can plan and take in the future. Of course, when we designed our project and activities, we was somehow pioneer in our country, because before us there was no any organization who dealing work with air quality issues. So based on this, and thanks for our colleagues from Kyrgyzstan and Kazakhstan, we started joint activities in our region, and we started with installation of sensor, low-cost sensors. Before installation, we hired some experts who just provided for us how, as young professionals on the air quality, this expert provided us overview and report, prepared report about the legacy issues, about the situation, what kind of system monitoring we have for the last 13 years in a structure. Based on this information, we started our activities. We conducted some planning and installed our sensors. So data were recorded and collected from the 11 sensors, put it in the 7 main cities of Tajikistan. And after we conducted information campaigns, and the first step was linking the sensors to our website, when citizens of Tajikistan can just see online what's happening, going on with the air quality. This was a single source when our citizens, Tajikistan citizens, could see air quality. So, of course, we have several programs working with communities, working with the school children, with the students, and during our meetings, we familiarize them about this problem and engage them. And as a result, we we received a lot of feedbacks and proposals to continue our work. So yes, you see in the picture a lot of things we have done. And next slide, please. I'm out of time, sorry. So here is some results of our team when we analyze the data we have collected. Of course, this all data we have shared with the students, with the scientific guys, which will continue with us our work in Tajikistan. Hopefully, as a result, in September, we will conduct third international conference, and hopefully a clean air fund, air gradient, OpenAQ, and other our partners will be engaged for this conference and contribute on solving of problem air quality in Central Asia. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ikrom. And it's super impressive all the linkages that you've had in Tajikistan and all the relationships you've built outside the ambassador program. And so we are very much looking forward to the conference in Central Asia soon. So thank you for sharing that with us. We'll move along. Jihan from Indonesia. Take it away, Jihan.
Thank you, Colleen. Okay, hello everyone. First of all, I want to thanks to OpenAQ and all the ambassadors and all the lecturer for the opportunity for this past 10 months, what we've been through together. And this is such a good opportunity for me, and this is one of the best opportunity for me as well. I have a good opportunity and a good friend from here. And okay, for the final project, this is about strategic litigation for Marunda's case, coal pollution case. Marunda is located in North Jakarta, where the residents' house are near the coal stockpile. Next, please. Okay, so when I'm joining this OpenAQ program, I was a former public interest lawyer in Jakarta Legal Aid Institute, or LBH Jakarta, but I'm no longer work in LBH Jakarta. I am in Earth Justice right now as contract attorney from Indonesia. And for this final project, at least there are three key points. 3 points of questions for doing the analysis. The first one, what analysis can be drawn regarding legal, human rights, and structural violations in the environmental pollution case in Marunda? The second one, what strategic advocacy steps can be pursued to address the coal dust pollution case in Marunda? And the last one, in what ways has the OpenAQ program contributed to my advocacy efforts in environmental case thus far? Next, please. Okay, so I and the advocacy team in Marunda already did the analysis of the legal, human rights, and structural violations about these cases. And for the full take a look, you can see my final report as well. And here's some advocacy strategy, some recommendation for the strategy. The first one is community empowerment for advocacy. I really remember the working group session with Malkia and Theresa talking and shared to us about how important the community empowerment, and I really agree with the community empowerment is the most important thing in advocacy strategy, because the community is the one who affected by the coal dust pollution in these cases, and they are the ones who have the right to fight for their rights to health, clean air, and to living. And the second is oversight of environmental impact assessment, or AMDAL in Indonesia. For KCN is the company in there who has the stockpile. And this is also important because in the process of making the permit, environmental permit or environmental impact assessment, the community must be involved. The community involvement and participation, by definition in meaningful participation is a principle in environmental law in Indonesia. And the third is undertaking effective measures by collect crucial evidence. So maybe one of this is very helpful. One of the evidence is about the air quality in Marunda, which can be proven by the Clarity Monitor is currently installed or deployed there. Even though the data cannot be the strong evidence in court once this case filed, but it can help strengthen the legal team's analysis and while we drafting the lawsuit or doing the case build. The fourth is strategic litigation. Maybe this is a very technical and based on Indonesia's formal law. The first one, government lawsuit, public interest lawsuit, and the last one, additional legal measures, which for this one, the community can expert pressure to the Ministry of Environmental and Forestry to instigate a strict liability lawsuit against the company in Marunda, holding them accountable for environmental pollution. And the last one, strategic campaign. I also remember the discussion in our past working group discussion when Nurzhan shared about how campaign can works and how the public support really matters in advocacy and for the cases. And from the previous advocacy in Marunda, the winning in Marunda was also achieved from the massive campaigns and a huge report from the national news. And yeah, next, please. Okay, for the conclusions, recommendation, and future work, for the reflection after 5 years of the residents advocating their rights to health, there has been no significant change from the government. But one thing that can be highlighted, the win should be still should be appreciated and celebrated. But the work still goes on. And for the recommendation, even though I'm no longer work in LBH Jakarta, but I'm still connected and engaged with the community and the other organizations as well. And I hope by involving both residents and the organizations in the advocacy team, this case and this advocacy still continued and still goes on. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Jihan. And thank you. I really appreciate you sharing all the learnings from the peer-to-peer learning sessions and the working groups that we had. Really, to me, this is one of the most valuable things that we can offer here in the ambassador program. So thank you for that. Okay, moving on to Luciano. Luciano, take it away. Luciano, I don't think we can hear you. Still nope.
Hello, can you hear me
Yes.
now?
Yep.
Sounds
good.
Oh, sorry. Well, I'm Luciano. I'm from Argentina. I live in Saladillo, a little town in the middle of Argentina. Next slide, please. The project I'm going to present, it's the Saladillo Schools in Action for Clean Air. I am going to implement local sensor to measure air quality in my community. I think a small change for a big change is a good way. Next slide, please. Well, for who don't know me, I'm a father of 2 children. I live in Saladillo with my family and my wife. I'm very interested about different subjects, special environment issues, innovation, technology. I'm teacher of high school teacher, work in a government agency, but this program I think is unique here in Argentina. We are in a very complex economic context. Thanks to this program, I could reach other people and I can work about equality. It's a very useful to our community. So the project, I focus on the project has a founding proposal plan to be present to a potential founder. The first is empower students to actively monitor and improve equality. The second is to show the community that equality is affected by everyday activity, but from a bottom-up approach. So I think working from an educational perspective involve students, the youngers, and develop a local sensor based on existing open citizen side project. I don't know an expert in programming or electronic, but some citizen side projects around the world, like Gradient, Canario, Sensor Community, Iris Ciudadano from Colombia, are a very good way to start with this kind of project. I think the student will be a good development of this knowledge. Sorry, next slide, please. Thank you. So the city design project I'm going to show it engages the community to participate, trying to fill in data gaps, where here we do not have any conventional sources of data. As a background, I have the monitor deployed during this program, thanks to the devices from A-Grade, Atmon, and Clarity. I have different testing points. We had deployed in different special places, in the school, in the center of the city, in a big city near Saladillo, where it's industrialized area. So we have different comparison. So the implementation we propose is to engage students, then a sensor deployment, a data analysis, a community awareness and collaboration with our institution, then technology integration, and the last is the continued monitoring. So the target is about 19 educational institutions with outdoor monitoring. I think we need from 12 to 18 months to the deployment, about $30,000 to deploy about 100 local sensors. I think we need to construct, to build from the scratch the sensor to engage the student, but perhaps sometime we need some commercial device. The device will be imported. So I think we need to start pilot in 4 or 2 schools. I think to convert to transform the school in next slide, please. Next slide, please. Can you hear me? I lost connection, I think.
We can still hear you.
Sorry for connection.
No worries.
Everything is Cooper is the project. So the execution will generate a radical change in Saladillo, but especially in educational community, with the data, the entire society will be able to elucidate and understand the equality of the air it breathes. And the important is submitting municipal ordinance project to the local government to commit to the meaning of equality. The experience assured me that I generated during this process and links that will be generated will produce a paradigm change in the modality of collaborative and STEAM education. So for future, our community has the great opportunity to fill in the gaps. we need to involve more elementary and high school. And thanks to this program and the proposal project, I have established a connection between people and take action, but the chance is even greater to elevate them to other actors as politicians. It's a very complex area. So beyond, there's a big open door here to create a citizens AQ monitor network, cooperation with different actors, perhaps government agency or a global institution to obtain some funds. Sorry for this inconvenience, but thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Luciano, and thank you for showing us that educating the youth and involving schools and citizen science is very fruitful and productive. And we look forward to the rest of the work that you're gonna do. Okay, so moving on, Malkia from Kenya, take it away.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining. First and foremost, let me start by thanking OpenAQ and all the sponsors for this program. What I like about this program, it was able to fill 3 gaps that we are suffering, especially in low and middle income countries. Access to data, big up to the OpenAQ Explorer. For me, it was very instrumental during this period. Access to sensors, I can't thank you enough. In my country, most people had not seen sensors until the few that I had to display it to some people to understand. So my project was on engaging grassroots communities to conceptualize air quality, and especially in informal settlements in Nairobi County. Next slide. This is because I realized community members are really key. I'm a public health expert by profession. I've worked with the government, schools, and local communities for 12 years. And I started the air quality advocacy journey in June 2022. That was through Clean Air Catalyst. And through that process, I met Colleen in one of the forums where I was able to apply for the OpenAQ Community Ambassador. And lucky I got it. So the aim of this project was to engage community members to actively participate in air quality issues, because since June 2022, most of the forums and where the discussions were, I felt it was on a higher level and the really key people were missing. So when this opportunity came, I said it is an opportunity for me to do in my small way to really break it down to the community members, what is air pollution, air quality, and why does air quality matter? Next. So for the 10 months, I did quite a number of activities, and these activities were through leveraging on other forums. So when the project started, I told myself I really needed to engage the community through community dialogue structures. In my country, we have community dialogue structures. And in these community dialogues, we have different kind of community members. So one of the things I used to do in those community dialogues, I could go with my Outmode tube air quality monitor because it is portable. And through my phone, I could show them the different types of from PM2.5, PM10, and what it means in the local language, and for them to be able to understand. Then I was able to engage in stakeholder forums, and these stakeholder forums, I'm grateful for the OpenAQ Explorer, because from the Explorer, I remember in one of the forums, that is the place I had to show people why there is inequity in access to monitors, because you could see from the map, other regions have a lot of low capital sensors. So, and in our country, they're really quite few. If you look at it in Kenya currently, they're not really many. So it is one of the advocacy tools that I was using for them to really ensure that we can have such things in place. Then in school engagements, and because you were issued with sensors, I was able to install all the sensors that we had. From the pictures you can see, I was through this program, and I was able to be engaged in a gender meeting where I had to speak about the role of women when it comes to air quality. And also do emissions inventory at the household level, which hopefully when the data comes out, it's going to be a very good advocacy tool for us where I work. Next. So in conclusion, for me, this project was personal because it really upgraded my knowledge as far as air quality is concerned. And from the project, I really realized I made great strides in raising awareness on air quality issues and also engaging the communities. We have a very common phrase in our society where we usually say, if it didn't happen in the community, it didn't happen anywhere. So even if we are going to speak at the global scale and speak big words and create all these gadgets and the community is not involved, then we might not make a lot of progress. So my recommendation and my future work is I'll still continue to scale up community engagement because my initiative, I know I have at least 2 or 3 community ambassadors too. And then I'm going to install to do some resource mobilization to get more air quality sensors to be installed. And then I need to encourage the adoption of clean energy technology because when I was doing the emissions inventory from the household level, I realized as much as we are so concerned with the ambient, indoor is equally important. And thank you so much, Colleen. Apart from learning issues of air quality, I learned some leadership skills from you. You're so patient and you have carried us along up to today. I'm excited today and thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you so much, Malkia, and thank you for your kind words. Also, thank you for reminding me that exactly 1 year ago, I was in Nairobi giving this training on the OpenAQ Explorer. So it really makes me happy that this has bloomed into something. So thank you so much for sharing today, Malkia. We'll be moving on to Nurzhan. Nurzhan, take it away.
Hello, do you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you well.
Please, my next presentation, my next slide. Yeah, this one. I'm Nurzhan Chunueva from Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan, and today I will talk about media coverage to advocate for clean air and our local experience. Please, next slide. I'm a media advocate for clean air from 2021 as a part of a Move Green organization that focuses on air quality. And today I will talk about what we achieved last year and what preceded these results. And also I will talk how the program helped me to produce 6 videos on air quality. Next slide, please. It was a big privilege for me last year because as a part of the program, I could analyze the actions that we did to influence air quality measurements. So there are steps in a certain sequence that you should do when you work with this topic, either as a communicator or an advocate. First of all, you should collect, analyze, and spread the information on air pollutants. This is what we did as a part of the program. It was our focus. And then you have to do the ratio of the sources of air pollution. The next step is to inform on the negative effects on human health, economy, and the other social aspects, because these are like not vivid negative aspects of air pollution on our daily life. And then we have to analyze and promote the measures in accordance with the pollutants. What are the priority measures we should focus and spend the budget on? And the final step is to apply tactical measures or showcase solutions to the government. This is the implementation part. There are instruments that we apply to influence decision makers, and I divide them into 2 categories. First of all, it's direct work with the decision makers, and the second are the information campaigns for creating demand from the critical mass. This means that we should always keep in mind when we do media work that our goal is to influence decision makers, to reach them. There were 4 results that we could achieve last year to see the results of our previous work. First of all, our landfill doesn't fire anymore. and the bus lanes, special lanes were presented in Bishkek. And you can see like about the steps and instruments and what we did for these results in my report. And these measures were taken by our municipality, and also activists planted over 100 trees last summer. It was also an urban adaptation measure to climate change. And Move Green insulated a house to show that energy generated by stove heating shouldn't be wasted. And I helped to produce 6 videos, and many of them were based on the presentations or materials provided by the program, for example, on health effects, also on the London Great Smoke, on climate change and its correlation with air pollution, and also on air quality data analysis. Next slide, please. And the best part, as I already said, that I had the chance to analyze my work, and I have some conclusions that open data and open societies contribute to the actions towards cleaner air, and our governments can see how the democracy can profit. And also the community over air pollution plays a vital role, and all we could achieve was possible due to the teamwork, and you can do a change alone. Also, media coverage shouldn't be underestimated. It has a significant role in informing and engaging citizens. That was my lecture about. That I gave as an ambassador, and also it helps to control and activate the governmental bodies. Also, advocating for clean air, it is needed to apply several instruments simultaneously. You can find these instruments described in my report. And finally, Bishkek is at the phase where we have already proven that air is polluted by sensors, have identified sources, and have recommended solutions. And we are at the phase when we have to just act to see the real changes, because Bishkek is still contaminated and among top 10 polluted cities according to IQ Air. And my recommendation is that more communication and collaboration is needed locally and globally to prioritize the air that we breathe, its health effects and climate change influence. And Move Green is open for collaborations, and my future work will be focused on expanding our team by sharing my expertise and experience, because we need even more influence. Thank you. I am done, and I think I am on time.
Thank you so much, Nurzhan. And I know I personally learned also a lot from your media advocacy and your, good use of media in pushing policy action. So congratulations on all of the results that it had in Bishkek, and thank you for sharing your work today. We're moving on to Rebeca. Rebeca, take it away.
Hi, everybody. I am really grateful for the OpenAQ program. Thanks for ambassadors, and mainly for you, Colleen, for all the support that you give us during this program. In my case, is this title of my final project. It's about an inventory of air pollutants due to brick production using Atmotube, a monitor in a rural community from Guanajuato. Mainly it's a big title, but I want to describe the importance that's meaning to integrate mainly for indicators for designing a citizen platform for mapping health risk. The next, please. Well, I want to earlier my presentation. It is important. I am a dietitian, professor, and researcher for University of Guanajuato, and I want to say that my topic is about environmental nutrition and food security. And in this moment, I am integrate not only the study for water security, food security, and in this instance, I want to study the air and soil about the pollutants. And this is so exciting for me to share that this topic is integrate more topics. And I think that this is the unique way to achieve the food security in the population. Well, I want to present that Guanajuato occupies the third place in the number of brickyards as an economic sector in Mexico, and therefore in the generation, mainly CO2 emissions. León city from Guanajuato is the main city, is an average 6 million of inhabitants. Poverty rate, for example, in Guanajuato is in this moment almost 42%. Civil food security in Guanajuato, it was almost 30% during this year. The Ladrilleras del Refugio is a rural community that is relocated on 80s due to urban growth of the city of León. Currently, is the population about 1,000 people, and is 300 houses. The main economic activity carried out in the community is the artisanal brick production. This is an informal job that represents an health risk activity due not only to the precarious condition of technology and illegal force used, because generate pollutants and affect workers and all population from the community, mainly vulnerable groups such as children, pregnant women, and older adults whose life expectation, for example, do not exceed 65 years. And this is, and the next, please. And this is the reason for the objective, mainly was to analyze and to derive an inventory of air pollutants due to brick production using mainly Edmo2 monitor as a pilot for designing a pilot citizen platform that we can generate a mapping health risk in this rural community. The methods is an analytical longitudinal design where during September the last year and to February this year it was measured in real time the pollutants, mainly the particulate and temperature, humidity, and pressure. That is the variables that integrate Edmo2 in this program. The main outcomes is the period where the pollutants increased were January and February. You can check in this graphic. For me was very interesting and to discover mainly we can say that is the normal in many countries the average the activity, but for example this is what the first time to discover this situation. And the next please. And then other worry situation is that these areas for production brick is nearest to the high school, and you can see in this picture which the distance it's very shorter the distance between to the mainly educational areas. The next please. And for example, this is another picture that can represent the rural community. And for example, this is the sun measure. And you can see that the particulate pollutants. For me, it's worry because this is related, for example, with kidneys and hepatic disease and another, of course, but imagine this pollution needs or impact mainly to children and pregnant women. The next please. Well, and the conclusion, for example, on recommendation, I want to share that the last week, this is another technology that is implementing in Guanajuato for the government. This is the difference than try, but imagine Guanajuato has an average 2,000 rural community with this activity, 2,000. And this is the first technology that implement in the rural community. Of course, that it's a great solution and the first step. But only I want to mention the problem. The first inventory about the mainline production due to reproduction using IQ2 and almost monitors rural community from Guanajuato will contribute as a pilot for designing in the platform. And this is help to monitoring this change. This is the main contribution was collecting of that experience and the brickyards, only the family business. The next, please. This is I want that. The next, please. Well, this is the outcomes. For example, mainly we designed this platform. It's in Spanish in this moment. This is only the imagine that we need to translate it in English version. But this is the picture that, for example, the last week and citizens that live from the rural community share me because they are very worried about this kind of phenomenon about equality. And finally, I made that I would like to integrate the other equipment, for example, ingredients. It was very interesting that this is a picture for today from Guanajuato, Guanajuato. And imagine the change that I need to integrate different technology for measure and to share and engage the citizens from to add this in this effort to platform in that with the citizen size network. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Rebecca, and thank you so much for sharing your project. As you've heard, Rebecca's background is in food security and environmental nutrition. And to me, it's really interesting that you were able to relate this to air pollution and all of its effects. So we are really looking forward to you building the platform. Okay, moving on. Thanasak, take it away.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I am Thanasak Thumbuntu. Actually, I'm a dentist and advocate for public health in Bangkok. Actually, I set my foot in clean air movement just last year, and I had a chance to join OpenAQ through the recommendations of clean air advocates in Thailand. Today, I'm thrilled to share with you a vision for cleaner air and healthier future, particularly for our most vulnerable, the children of Bangkok. Next slide, please. So in the heart of bustling Bangkok lie a silent threat to our children's health, air pollution. So the project I participate, the Dust-Free Classroom Initiative of the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration, stands as a beacon of hope in this haste, addressing two critical questions. First, ensuring child safety. How can we create safe harbors for Bangkok school children during air pollution seasons while public investment are not available? And the second point is personal growth in clean air advocacy. What avenues within the clean air movement offer opportunities for personal contributions and growth? Next slide, please. So to answer the first question, I use mixed method ranging from literature review, quantitative data analysis, and interviewing school teachers. The second question relies on experiential learning and reflection along the exploration process. Regarding the first part, there were mainly three outputs. The first one is review and formulations of adaptation guidelines, drawing inspirations from successful initiatives like the International School Bangkok recommended by Kun Vinarin from Thailand Clean Air Network. So I review and propose a framework titled Good Practice of Dust-Free Classrooms and Adaptation Policy to the BMA team. For the second output, establishment of health professional working group. Recognizing the importance of interdisciplinary collaborations, we initiated a health professional working group dedicated to advancing clean air initiative with the support from health sector. By engaging influential figures within Ministry of Public Health, we hope to bridge the gap between the health sector and clean air advocacy groups. However, we haven't have a very concrete outcome from this working group. The third output is development of customized adaptation guidelines to ensure the access to air quality information and relevance of our adaptation guidelines. We deployed innovative strategies such as deploying additional 20 sensors with the kind support from Akim and infographic creation. By translating complex air quality data into actionable insights, we empowered stakeholders to make informed decisions about adaptations and air quality management in schools and daycare centers. For the second part of the result, as I immersed myself in the clean air movement, I explore diverse avenues for personal contributions such as information generation and awareness raising. For information generation, by analyzing air quality data, I identified trends and patterns in air pollution level across different provinces of Thailand, along with the air pollution related disease shown in the first picture in the right frame. During data exploration, I came across data availability issue, especially in highly polluted areas, like 2 power plants for 1/3 of the 6-month study period. And apart from that, I found maldistributions of reference grade monitors across Thailand, as shown in the second picture of the right frame. One of the hardest hit and largest province in Thailand only had 1 monitor for 2.5 million population, while the monitor per population ratio in Bangkok is another generous story. So this research not only familiarized myself to data analysis, but also laid the groundwork for future policy intervention aimed at addressing systemic air quality governance of Thailand. And the second output from the second point, it's awareness raising and education. By sharing real-time air quality data and personal stories, I hope that it can inspire individuals to take action and become advocates for clean air in their community. And in the academic arena, I had a chance to attract public health leaders to air pollution issue in the Global Health Conference called Prince Mahidol Award Conference. Also, I represented Thailand Clean Air Network in sharing the situation and solutions for air pollution in Thailand to potential leaders in ASEAN under the program Y Series Environmental Summit hosted by the US Embassy. Next slide, please. So my initial achievement can be briefly summarized into 2 things. First, 11 schools and daycare centers equipped with air quality data and adaptation guideline for informed decision making. Secondly, for my personal growth, I gained more commitment to data-driven policy making. However, our part has not been without hurdles. We faced with some delay in project implementation so that we cannot draw any late data conclusion. So, and also we faced with initial limitation in resource and capacity to scale. For example, like 2 out of 10 daycare centers do not have Wi-Fi for data uploading. As I look to the future, I would recommend prioritizing clean air as fundamental human right, ensuring fair resource allocation, and promoting transparency and local utilizations of air quality information to empower community. Looking ahead, I will continue data collection and analysis for the expansions for our dust-free classroom initiative, and also contribute to the development of health and air pollution monitoring platform under Thailand Clean Air Network. Try to empowering local community to take control of their air quality. And lastly, I would like to say thank you to OpenAQ and all sensor providers and instructors for these eye-opening experiences along these 10 months. For the rookie like me, the more I learn, the more I find the true cause for taking action against air pollution. And actually, tackling air pollution is a health action that all health professionals should actively take part in as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Thanasak, and thank you so much for sharing. And we really value your public health and perspectives as a medical professional. So I'm also very excited with about your further collaboration with Akim and Air Gradient. This is super, super exciting. Moving along to our final presentation of today. It's hard to believe that this is already the last presentation. So Theresa, take it away.
Hello, good evening from Nigeria. I am Theresa Ewona. I'm presenting on community engagement in air quality advocacy and management in Cross River State of Nigeria. Next slide, please. I am a lecturer at the University of Cross River State, a platform which I've used to launch out, and with my background on eco management, and I embarked on this prior to joining the OpenAQ 2023 Community Ambassador Program. I had been on my own engaging on advocacy. I'd been passionate about women and girls in my area. And as you can see from this slide, the discrimination against girls and women in Nigeria had been the cultural barriers that have been my major motivation. So advocacy focuses on girls and women, and who are often denied certain privileges because of their sex. Most assigned cultural rules make them second-class citizens, unfulfilled individuals, and then vulnerable to air pollution. In this side of the world, we believe in large families, large households. I have 4, 6, 12, and so on, as many as the man can marry. So I am about the 23rd child in my family, polygamous family. So these roles are assigned to women and girls. And then you can see from the photos here, pollution sources common in the area include sweeping, meals cooking, both for family consumption and for commercial purposes, fish smoking, even preparing the land for agricultural purposes. Women and girls are at the forefront. So I've been quite passionate about that. And when this opportunity presented itself, I could not hold back, though I was just recovering from a major surgery. I leveraged on that and took advantage of it. And then these are the pollution sources there, and even the maiden dances and the indiscriminate bush burning. There's so much pollution. So my advocacy focused on the vulnerable groups in the society, women, girls, children. Next slide, please. Thanks to our OpenAQ team that has given us this platform and the air quality monitoring sensors that we have used to engage this in a community advocacy. The Atmo tube, I call it my personal friend because it's mobile, it's portable. So I use it in my engagements to schools, to communities, to religious groups. This side of the world, we are really religious. So we follow them to their group meetings, to their women meetings and all that. And then to create awareness on the dangers of air pollution. As a matter of fact, air pollution in Nigeria and the implications on health is really low. So we use the Atmo tube. It was very impactful, very helpful to me to show the quality of air that they're breathing. And they could read it, they could see it direct from the Atmo tube. So it created a lot of enthusiasm. Many people asked for Atmo tube, including the elites and medical practitioners. They're asking for Atmo tube. The demand was really high. And then air gradient was also very useful too. Air gradient was deployed in my house, mounted in my house. Due to power outage, irregular power supply here. There's plan to move it forward to University of Calabar environmental field station, where there is Wi-Fi, there is near steady power supply, and it will perform maximally there. Then clarity nodes were also, 2 clarity nodes were given, and they were deployed in Calabar. Both were deployed in Calabar, and then one was later redeployed to Bubra local government area, the central part of the state. So they were really very helpful, and thanks again to the OpenAQ team. Next slide, please. Conclusions. There is low awareness of air pollution and its implication in Nigeria, as earlier mentioned. And the OpenAQ program has assisted in creating air quality management in Nigeria, which we are really thankful. And there was wide participation and high interest in more work in the area. We talked to hundreds of people, both in school engagements and community engagements. And then there was so much success because we spoke to hundreds of people, and then the demand for AtmoTube, as I mentioned earlier, is overwhelming. And there is AtmoTube, why the demand was so high, or is so high for AtmoTube, is because it provided direct readings you could see. People could easily see for themselves. So there was not much argument, and it created so much concern, especially when they were told that it has, the quality of air you breathe has impact on longevity or life expectancy. So there was so much concern. But the challenges are that air quality monitoring sensors, the data and experts are in short supply in Nigeria, and intervention will be required. Data retrieval and analysis section are quite technical for AtmoTube, for air gradient and clarity node. Also, clarity device will soon need a recalibration, subscription, and co-location with reference monitor. For recommendations, we recommend that more ambassadors to be recruited, if possible, to cover more communities, because considering the extent, the largeness of the country, and the population, what we did here, though we are very thankful, it's like a drop of water in the ocean. So there's so much work to be done. And then also current or outgoing ambassadors will need support to maintain the sensors, air quality sensors, and for continuity of their community programs or engagement. And also more practical sessions for future ambassadors will enhance their data handling skills. Then for future plan work, air gradient will be relocated to University of Calabar Environmental Geophysical Research Field Station, which is presently undergoing a renovation. Also, and to the air gradient sensor, will be relocated there, redeployed there. Then to address above challenges, I think funding may be needed. I just want to give a shout out to all our co-ambassadors, both the ones that are outgoing and the incoming ones, the OpenAQ team. You've done greatly. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Theresa, and thank you so much. We really value your advocacy and passion about women and girls, and then also thank you for that call in the end, because I think really the ambassador program is just the beginning and a very good call for collaboration for folks that are outside the ambassador program. And thank you so much to everyone. So that concludes our presentations. But before we close out, I'd like to call on our executive director, Chris Hagerbaumer. Chris?
Well, I have to say I teared up a few times during these presentations, because tears of joy for how much you all are doing. As the executive director of OpenAQ, and on behalf of OpenAQ, including our board of directors, several of whom are here today, I just want to express our huge congratulations to each and every one of you. You made it through hours of instruction. You developed and executed and continue to execute unique projects. You supported and learned from each other on your journey. We are truly honored to have worked with you. We consider ourselves blessed to know you as human beings. We're so inspired by what you've done so far, and we know that you're going to continue to make a huge difference in for the health and the well-being of your community and beyond. So with that, I formally announce you as graduates of the OpenAQ Community Ambassador Program.
Yeah. Virtual applause. We're like all super celebrating here. Thank you so much, Chris. And thank you all for being here today. Before we close out, I would like to request everyone to please turn on your cameras so we can take a group photo and commemorate this great moment. Also, on my screen, I have two, what do you call this? Screens. So if you can hold your smile for more than 10 seconds so that I can take a screenshot of everyone. Okay, I'll give a second for everyone to turn on their cameras. Okay. Alrighty. 1, 2, 3. Okay, one more time. Wait, let me save that first. Okay. Okay, one more time. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you all so much. Thank you for being here today. Congratulations to the ambassadors. I hope that we'll all continue to be working together. OpenAQ is always here for you. And we look forward to further collaborations. So with that, I'd like to close out this graduation. You're free to stay on to speak with the rest of the ambassadors and the rest of whoever is in here. But yeah, thank you all for your time today.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, guys. See you.
Bye.
Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Everyone.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much, everyone.
Bye from Nigeria.
Goodbye from Kenya.
Bye-bye from Argentina. Thanks for the support.
Okay.